Hi and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to talk about type narrowing. When we have multiple types annotated on a single data, we can narrow the value down to one type to perform certain operations. For example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into our previous lesson and I'm going to copy this example. It's a very good starting point for this lesson. Let's put it down here. I'm going to uncomment it. I am going to bring one change here. So the price of the first course, it's not going to be free. It is going to be 20, but it's not going to be a number 20. It's going to be a string of 20. Now, in this example, we can see that if we take a look at the type, it is obvious that the price could be of type string. It could also be of type number. In our first course, it is of type string, and in our second course, it is of type number. Let's say we create a function that would determine the discount of the course. So I'm going to call it generic name course discount, and to this function, I will pass in a course object. Now, instead of just writing the object, I could just provide the type. Instead of writing the name and then writing the price, separate properties, I could just provide the type here. In other words, I could type annotate the parameter of this function to the product type. Now, since this function works only on course discounts, what I wanted to return is going to be a number. Now, here is where things get a little bit tricky because we need to check whether price is a string or is it a number. We need to check that. And that's where type narrowing comes into our lesson. The way that we can do type narrowing, there is several methods, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the type of operator. From your JavaScript knowledge, you already know what the type of operator is. It provides the type of any operator. And in here, we use it to basically check the type of any variable. So we can check if the variable or if that property is of type number, or we can check it for a string. Now, what do we want to do? We want this function to grab the price and then maybe decrease it by 25%. So if it is a number, everything is okay. But if it is a string, we want to convert it to a number. So when it's a number, that's what we want to return from this function, then that's okay. So what do we need to do? In which department do we have to put in some extra work? That is when the course price is a string. So I'm going to check for a string because if it is a number, then that's okay. I don't want to check for that. I want to check for when it is a string. So I'm going to use the type of operator. I'm going to get our our parameter. And on that parameter, we can see we have two properties. We have name and price. We are interested in the price. And we're saying that if the type of the price property from the course object is equal to string, it means that it is a string. Then what do I want to do? I want to basically convert that string into a number. This is, of course, if the price, when it is a string, it's not like the letters like 20, like TWENTY. It's like 20. It's like numbers wrapped in quotes. If they're if that's a string, this is not going to work. I don't want to make it too complicated. I just want to show you how this type of operator works. So I'm going to grab the %, and I am going to get the course price %. Let's get it course.price, and this is going to convert it into a number. And after that, I want to reduce it by 25%. All right, so everything is okay so far. Now, if I take a look at this course price here, we can see that it is of type string. If I take a look at it here, before actually checking for that, we can see that the course price is of type string or type number. But within the block of this if statement, the course price, the price property, can only be of one type, and that is of type string. So if we extract the type string from this property's type, what other types are left? There's just one, and that is number, which means if I take a look at the course.price here, outside the if statement, there can only be one other type, and that is type number. This is the beauty of using type narrowing, especially this type of operator. When it handles TypeScript, here it's really evident how smart TypeScript is. TypeScript knows that, okay, I handled the type string, what other types are missing? So it's going to check and it's going to see, okay, so string is gone. The only thing remaining is number. So price can only have one type, and that is type number. And then we're going to multiply it by 25. Now the actual implementation doesn't really matter, but what matters for us is the how this type narrowing basically works its way into TypeScript and into our code, and how it provides us with a better way of writing TypeScript types and actually knowing which type belongs to our property in this case. So we could go ahead and, for example, log it to the console if we wanted to. Course discount, and I am going to pass in here our first course, course 1, and we could pass in here course 2 as well. What I could do is I could just open this with live server. It's going to take a little bit. Let's get out of there. Let's jump into console, and there we go. I could just put the console down below. Very good. Bring it up, zoom it in, just refresh that. So we can see that it is off by 25% here and off by 25% here. So I could provide, so first course first, that is TypeScript. Just write TypeScript is off. The original price is 20, and it is like 25% of that is 5. That is off. Whoops, I shouldn't provide that there. I should just provide it right here, and I'm going to provide it here as well. And I'm going to change this to JS just to make sure. Not that this matters. So TypeScript is off by $5, and JavaScript is off by $2.50. And that is it for type narrowing. See you in the next one.